Jeff, true or false, Jarvis Landry is his team's de facto tight end security blanket that can block?
He can't. He can block, but he's not that dynamic of a blocker. But yes, he's Ryan Tannehill's blankie. He's the new blankie. He's been the new blankie. Jarvis Landry's caught more passes in the NFL than any receiver in NFL history in his first 2 seasons. Yeah. Like, of course he's going to be a top target. Now the question is Jarvis Landry going to produce touchdowns? And I don't know about that.
I don't know either.
I don't play fantasy football, but if I did, I definitely wouldn't be picking Jarvis Landry.
We've got a guy challenging in the chat room.
Okay, challenging. What's the challenge?
Burritos for breakfast. This team has zero chance of staying healthy. Their entire offseason revolved around bringing in broken, injured players. Hoping their sports science department can magically make them good.
That is a great question. I don't know if you guys heard it, but Burritos for Breakfast asked, he said, this team has no chance of producing winning season because the Dolphins brought in broken down and injured players and expect their sports science department to magically make them healthy. And that is an accurate statement. The Dolphins believe that they're reinventing the wheel from a medical standpoint.
Certainly, Kiko Alonso. I mean, I don't know how that man's going to stay healthy.
I think so. You know, Kiko, I've been sizing him up in the locker room, and Kiko's not as small. Kiko's long.
Yeah.
He's long, and he's lean, and he's got long arms. But he's a legit 230 pounds. Okay. What do we want him to be, 240? But if he was 240, he couldn't cover with the range that he does. Right. Like, what do you have more of an issue with? A guy making a sure tackle and stopping and holding up to the physicality, or a guy covering Robert Gronkowski? What's more of a priority for you?
Stopping the run.
I agree. I kind of agree. Well, Dolphins made a trade-off, and they sacrificed the run, the run to cover Gronk.
Okay. Let's see. Wayne. Will this coaching staff prove to be an obvious upgrade over the Philbin staff?
I don't know if it's going to be obvious, but Adam Gase is so much more of a pleasure to deal with. Adam Gase is so much more interesting. I think he's a better play caller than Joe Philbin. I could already see that. I've never seen Joe Philbin do anything in practice, much less call a play. I've watched Joe Philbin for 4 years and couldn't tell you what he does in practice.
Yeah, right.
Adam Gase, I watch him and I could see what he does in practice. I think there was a magical moment for me earlier this week when he's standing next to Vance Joseph. They're doing red zone drills. This is the Fasano touchdown that I was telling you to. And they're sitting there playing chess matches on each other, calling in different plays against each other to see what works and see what helps them and be able to identify. I think they work well together as coaches. And to see, a lot of people in the NFL believe Vance Joseph will be a head coach within the next 2 years. Well, this Dolphins defense has to have success for that to happen. So I'm banking on Vance Joseph looking at this as his opportunity to get his $4 million payday. And if he makes Adam Gase's defense good, then that puts it on Adam Gase to make this offense good. They work hand in hand together. And I like what I've seen. This is me. Think about who's saying this. I like what I've seen from this offense and Ryan Tannehill the last 2 weeks. When Adam Gase instantly began calling plays for specific things or working on a game plan, they've been working on a game plan for Seattle this week. I like what I've seen. Will it work? I have absolutely no damn idea.
I think with that back seven, I think the defense will cost them more games than the offense cost them.
Wow. When you are talking about an offense that's coming off scoring 19 points a game, that's so disrespectful.
What do you think?
I think that they're equally as much of a problem. That's my honest answer. I think they're equally as much of a problem. I'm not sold on this wide nine defense, which gets me to one of the questions that Vince Herrera, who, by the way, is an artist, and he did a nice piece for me. Wide nine is going to put a load on the linebackers. We know this. They're not short tacklers. What adjustments do you foresee happening? If it were me, I would put Koa Misi as the inside linebacker and have Kiko on the outside and Jelani on. While Koa does not give you the instincts that you need as an inside linebacker, Koa is about as reliable as it gets. Koa is like that public sub. You know exactly. It's not special. It's not going to just be like, God, dog, I need to go get me a public sub. You're not going to be salivating for that public sub, but it's good and it's very filling.
Yeah,
it gets the job done, and that is Koa Misi. And if it were me, I am not the smartest guy in the world, but I would put Koa Misi on the inside. He's going to do his job and have Jelani and Jelani and Kiko on the outside.
I mean, it makes sense. You've got those 3 stars in the defensive line. You got Rashad Jones in the back, Those guys will make the plays, the big plays, the game-changing plays.
Yeah.
Linebackers just don't let, just stop the run. Just
Don't screw it up.
Don't screw it up. Exactly.
Don't screw it up by missing a tackle.
Don't get hurt.
Yeah.
Because that's not good either.
The gaps are supposedly going to be wide open in these wide nines. The linebackers just have to make plays. Now, if linebackers are safeties, because safeties are also down there in the box, if they miss a tackle, it's a 15-yard play. Instantly. Because there's nobody there. It's a 15-yard play till the last guy line of defense, which is either Rashad or Issa Abdul-Quddus, puts themselves in position to make that tackle. That's instantly a missed tackle, add 15 yards, whatever you're already gaining.
We haven't talked a lot about Abdul-Quddus. Just a guy? Or
I don't know.
Right?
I haven't seen enough. He'll be all right.
Okay.
I don't think he's anything special. I think he's intelligent enough to play well next to Rashad Jones. You're expecting Rashad Jones to be a monster. Yeah. So let him do his thing.
Let him do his thing.
You need Issa Abdul-Quddus to be the guy. Who was the guy played next to Troy Polamalu? The Ryan Clark.
Okay.
You need Issa Abdul-Quddus to clean up what Rashad screws up. That is his job. Like, those kind of safeties, they take risks, they take gambles, they see it, they go after it. Well, that free safety's got to be like, oh crap, I see what Rashad's doing. Let me get over there because that gap's going to be open.
Okay.
And if you don't have that safety, you're going to be screwed.
Yeah. Question?
Oh, we have a guy challenging you. Handle 1933 does not agree on your stance about getting rid of 4 cornerbacks last year.
Yeah.
He's saying they're horrible, they played poorly, and see what other teams pick them up.
That is a great challenge. So let me give you an opportunity. That provides me a great opportunity to educate you on what was going on in last year's defense. His issue is that the Dolphins secondary last year was trash. We should have dumped all 4 players. That's great. That's technically he's right, because they did allow a Dolphins franchise record for opposition quarterback rating. Like, the quarterback rating was like a 98 something last season, and there were a lot of big plays allowed. Now let me explain to you what happened. When you don't stop the run, and teams can run on you, then they're selectively passing. They don't have to pass. Puts defenses in a difficult position. When you don't get pass rush, 31 sacks, less than 3 a game, 2 something a game, quarterbacks are back there all day. How many double moves did you see these cornerbacks get beat on, where a receiver can has a time to run a double move on a cornerback, and then it's wide open? Where's the safety help when these cornerbacks are beat? Isn't there supposed to be a last line of defense? Safety help last year. Was it good? Did you see Rashad Jones be in position to make those plays back there as a safety? You know what a safety is? It's the last line of defense. Rashad Jones is in the box. He's gambling. He's freelancing. And that produces great stats for Rashad Jones, but it also produces big plays for the defense. Now, you need Rashad Jones to make plays, but you also need a reliable guy back there to be the last line of defense. So when you throw in bad pass rushing, poor tackling, inability to stop the run, safety you can't rely on, it's a hot mess for a cornerback. I've said this before on Twitter. I don't think Deion Sanders could have had a good, successful season playing in the Dolphins defense last year. Then on top of that, they were basically running 5 plays all season on defense after Kevin Coyle got fired.
Sure.
5 plays. You imagine how simple it is if you're a Madden player and you know that a guy plays 5 defenses. Think about how simple it is to set him up in those 5 defenses if you're a Madden player. Now imagine it in a real world NFL where opposing offensive coordinators are going, they play 5 plays on defense? 5 plays. It was a hot mess last year.
No wonder Brent didn't want to be here anymore.
Yeah, no.
There are plenty of reasons for that.
Plenty of reasons for that, but yes.
Plenty of reasons for that. Isaiah is asking a question about Seattle. We're definitely going to get into more about the Seahawks, but let's ask anyway. Where do you think the Dolphins will struggle the most against the Seahawks?
Rough physical running game.
Yeah.
Even without Marshawn Lynch, I watched him in the preseason, and I was like, whoa, good run game. I physical run game, quarterback who can run. I think the potential for big plays is there. Show me short tackling. We'll play this as a family feud. Show me short tackling, right. and that would be your number 1 answer.
I mean, Thomas Rawls and the guys that they have in that running in that that backfield.
Talented backs, man. Talented backs. For all of the first picks of the O-line, when are they when do they live up to the caliber of play like the Cowboys O-line? That's a difficult question because Cowboys have younger offensive linemen. They have a little bit more durability than what the Dolphins have shown you. Mike Pouncey, him and his brother are both struggling with health issues. It is what it is.
Yeah.
He's good when he's healthy. The question is he's got to be more healthy. Brandon Albert's getting up there in years. I think I like the Brandon sits out one practice per day. And one practice per week. When he did that, Brandon Albert played at a high level. He made it to the Pro Bowl when they said, you know what, Brandon, we're going to sit you for one practice per week. This is what your sports science is about. This is what the GPS trackers you have on your body is about. Let the man rest so he can get out there and give it his all during the games, and you see the end result. So are they ever going to be the Dallas offensive line? No, but I think that they have the potential to be good.
All right. Do you want to answer Deion Jordan question or not?
Let's go for it.
Okay.
Throw it on.
Angel. Can Deion Jordan really make an impact late in the year for this Dolphins team?
No. Deion Jordan is not that talented, and that's the reality of it. Deion Jordan has never and could never do what Chris McCain did in practice. That's the reality of it. And now that he's heavier at 280 pounds and less fluid, I haven't seen him run once. Not once. 4 weeks, never seen him run.
Bands.
Huh?
He did bands, though, right? Wasn't he doing?
Did he run?
No.
Running is kind of part of football, isn't it?
Somewhat important.
Yeah. Deion Jordan is never going to be the player that you wanted him to be. Sorry.
All right.
No offense, but it's not there.
David has a question about the rookies. The way he phrases it is Tunsil, Grant, and potentially Howard out of this draft class.
Okay.
Is that it?
Yeah.
I like Leonte Carrou.
I like Leonte Carrou too. I am disappointed in what I've seen from him during training camp and during the exhibition season. I expected him to be doing more. Adam Gase is hinting at the fact that he's not processing the playbook well enough, fast enough. And these young receivers, including Jakeem Grant, are running the wrong routes from their quarterbacks. Worst thing you can do to a quarterback is run the wrong route. Right. That leads to we don't trust you. I don't trust you to be where you're supposed to be. Making the right reads, making the right route adjustments. They've got a ways to go. Hopefully by mid-season, they'll be making an impact. But Leonte might be called on to play immediately.
Sure.
Because unless they're going to keep Griff Whalen, if Devontae Parker can't play, you need a guy to come in and contribute right away. And it's not going to be Jakeem Grant because Jakeem Grant's a gimmick player. He's not an every down player. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
So are they going to, I know they got rid of Matt Hazel. Do you think Whalen's going to wind up making this roster?
I think so for now. He might be one of those final five guys because he can contribute on special teams. You have injuries at wide receiver right now. And think about what Adam Gase went through in Chicago where he ran out of receivers and just didn't have any because of injury. I do believe that they're going to keep six.
I mean, I think it makes sense.
Your past experiences sort of dictate what you're going to do in the future. Adam Gase ran out of receivers in Chicago. He ran out of receivers. So that means if you got a guy who should make your 53-man roster, and I think they're going to keep Rashawn Scott as a practice squad guy, you do it.
Were you surprised they got rid of Hazel?
No.
Okay.
I didn't see anything from Hazel.
All right. That's good, right?
Yeah, that's good.
That's good.
Were there any questions?
No, we got through everything on this.
All right.
Yeah, that was all good.
Well, we rocked it today.
Hey, good thing is, not a hell of a lot's going to change in the next week. So if we didn't get to your questions, we're doing this again next week. We'll talk more about Seattle and maybe if there are any surprising cuts. We don't expect there to be any.
Yeah, we got
surprising
cuts. We got cuts on Saturday. I'm interested. Give me one player you think should make the roster who's on the bubble.
I led that Griff Whalen question because was my guy.
You think Griff Whalen should make?
I think Griff Whalen makes the roster.
Julius Wormsley. There's nobody who's probably Mike Hull was the only guy who's probably done more in the exhibition season than Julius Wormsley. I think he's fought to make a 53-man roster for the past 3 years. This is the year for Griff. For not Griff Whalen, Julius Wormsley.
Okay.
Yeah.
There it is.
All
Thanks for hanging on to
Cheers
overtime.
for 8-8.
8-8.
8-8.
Or 7-9. Man.
Yeah.
That's all right.
8-8. I'd kill for 8-8.
Hey, if you have any questions in the next week, send them to us using the hashtag XOMar. Twitter, Omar, @Omar Kelly. I'm at Matt Lincoln TV. Thanks for watching.